Perceive it.
Okay.
Anyways, okay. You ready?
We're ready.
Okay. Hey, everybody. This is Chad Jordan, Director of Marketing at Sport Clips Haircuts. And I'm coming to you from, we've never filmed a podcast at this kind of place, but we're at Ashley, what's it called? Ashley Home Store? Is that what this place is called?
Yeah, that's great.
Which is right down in the same shopping center as the manager of the store. We're going to find out a little bit about her store as right next door to this place. So, and it's got a great setup. So if you're watching us on YouTube, hi. This is a little fancier setup than what we usually have, but we knew we couldn't. Her store is so busy, guys. There's no way we could record this podcast in her equipment room. The vacuum would have literally been going off every 30 seconds. So we decided we would record here. There is a little bit of, what would you call this, ambient music? I don't know, like pop light music going on in the background. So you guys might be able to tap your toes to the podcast today with the music going on in the background. But I had to get Lisa, who's going to introduce herself in a minute, I had to get her on the podcast. We'll explain why in a minute. But now that I've already revealed your name, why don't you fully introduce who you are, your store number, where we are, all that kind of stuff.
My name is Lisa Goodwin, and we're in Morgantown, West Virginia, and I am the manager for West Virginia 151.
Team leaders are who?
Amanda and Ryan Donovan.
Are they more team leaders or more family to you at this point?
Oh, they're definitely more family.
Okay, so are you Auntie Lisa to their little one, or how does that work? Because they don't live nearby, right?
They don't.
Okay.
They're a few hours away, so I've gotten to snuggle with them a little bit.
And you have been at this location since it opened, right?
Grand opening.
Grand
Yep.
opening?
Mhm.
Were you managing it right away, or you were part of the grand
was a
opening team?
stylist.
Okay, you were a stylist.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into your story a little bit in a little while, but you guys, you set a record with that grand opening.
Yeah, we did.
Right? So, hey, there's the Ashley Home Furniture chiming in. Hi. Anyways, so your grand opening record, do you remember what the details are, or?
We were 15 consecutive weeks number one in all the grand opening stores, and I believe the record that we had to beat was 11 weeks, and
Okay.
And then the second place was like 4 or 5 weeks. So we
And this is what, 2016?
Yeah,
Okay.
so we did.
So
15 weeks.
you're not even 3 years old.
Not quite. We're coming
as a
up on
sport
our
clips.
3-year anniversary. Yep.
Cool. And we're going to get into your story today, how you became a stylist, obviously now a manager, what your journey has looked like. But the reason you are, quote unquote, in the Hall of Fame, you're a Hall of Famer, is because of some of the activities that you've done in the store since you guys have opened. And you're super active on social media, which you know is near and dear to my heart. So I see all this kind of stuff. But you actually started a trend that has really, it's caught fire and caught the attention of a lot of stores. So I want to get into that today. And the trend, I'm just going to intro it, and then you're going to describe what the heck you were thinking, and how you publicize it, how you convince the client to want to be part of it. But your trend that you started is the world record for the most MVPs on a single client in a single day. Did I get that right?
That is correct.
Okay. So, and I remember, I don't know, was it 6 months ago or so, you reached out to me and you said, hey, do you know what the record is? And I was like, I think my immediate response was like, why? Why would you want to know? I mean, I don't know, 10? I don't know how many. And so we actually put it out on social media, like, hey, how many? And I did like this informal poll because we didn't want to let people know what you were up to yet. And so we just, on social media, was like, hey, guys, what's the most MVPs you're, and somebody came back with like 40-something in Illinois or something. I can't remember where it was. But so we thought, okay, all right, that's what it is. So, and then you said, I'm going to set the bar, and you went above and beyond that. So now take me through, once you knew what the record was, what did the next little bit of time look like, and how did you get to the point where you were able to kind of be the first official record holder of the most MVPs on a single client in a single visit?
Well, if I go back just a little bit, we wanted to, our whole idea is guys are competitive, and let's let them have some fun with us. So we got a blackboard and stuck it in our waiting room, and we found out what the West Virginia record was, which was currently 7, and it actually was my dad. And so, but we were able to put that up on the board, and then men started wanting to beat it.
And this is key. This is a key point. not for free, not discounted.
No,
Like
no.
you weren't up,
Full
you know,
price.
yeah, full price.
Well, we had a $2 off All-Star because
Was it July or something,
It was our
or-
veteran.
Oh,
No,
okay,
so
okay.
This $300 ticket was actually $298.
Okay.
So.
Oh, all right.
Gotta-
Not $2 per
gotta
MVP.
give our-
$2 total.
Absolutely
Okay,
not. No,
discount.
you can't
All
have
right.
a discount here.
Okay,
Yep.
all right. So you started doing that, and it's helping actually your sales and all that kind of stuff
Yep.
as well.
Mhm.
So that's kind of clever. But all right, so you do this
So-
blackboard. It goes back
Yep.
and forth. What's the number get up to kind of in the store?
So we were, we then had someone step up and take the West Virginia record, which was 10, and then, which was also my client, and then
Not your dad this time.
not my dad,
Okay.
nope. And then I had another client. His name is Brandon, and
Mhm.
he's super competitive. And he said, "So, let's beat this." And I said, "Well, if you really want to beat it, why don't we look at the national record?"
Mhm.
And so,
Which just happens to be the world record because
Yeah,
we might
that's
as well just
right.
call it like it is. It's the world record.
that's
so,
correct.
mhm.
And so I told him I was going to research it and that we definitely had to schedule this in because it was going to take some time. So he confirmed that he wanted to do it. At that point, we thought that 45 was
Yeah.
the record, and so we planned it out. We were at the store 15-20 minutes prior to open to get it started, get our live videos set up, and it was fun. It was 4.5 hours of...
Did you really stream it the entire time?
We didn't stream the whole time. We actually did the live video to open it up.
Okay.
We did a little joke video halfway through with a theme song, and they were giving me like back massages and
And water and
water
other
and
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then we ended it afterwards with another.
It took
like,
how
completion.
long did it take from start to
It
finish?
was 4.5 hours. We
Uh-huh.
and I timed it just to make sure that I wasn't jibbing him a minute and that he got the full experience.
So the MVP. Now most people listening to this are stylists and their team members, and they're associated with Sport Clips. But for just in case somebody stumbled upon our podcast and is listening, what is the MVP experience at Sport Clips?
So typically you start with a haircut, and then we give them a steam towel, scalp massage with shampoo, with our Paul Mitchell tea tree product, so it's a nice tingly touch. And then we have our roll hand massager, and we do their neck, back, and shoulders.
Okay. By the way, I got that today. And I didn't get 55 of them or 56. I got one, and one was plenty.
And I did offer a double.
You did, and but I knew we had a podcast to record, so but super. That's why I might look more relaxed this podcast for those watching on YouTube than normal. Yeah, amazing. So it was an amazing experience. Now, how did you literally, obviously he can only get one haircut at that point unless you,
Yeah.
I don't know. So you give him a haircut, then do you take him back and forth from the showers and where he gets his hair washed and all that, and back to the chair massage and back, or do you do it all at once? How does it work for those that are also interested in trying to do
In beating
this?
the record?
Yeah.
Well, I thought twice first, and he has a bald fade, and I thought my poor little fingers wouldn't handle that bald fade for 55 rounds. So we actually sectioned it off in 3 sections. So the first half was, we pre-counted all our steam towels, so we didn't have to keep counting throughout the process. And so I did about half of them, and then we went to the station and did half of the back, neck, and shoulders to give my fingers a break of breathing. And then we went back to the MVP steam towels, did another 20 some rounds, then neck, back, and shoulder. Did the haircut at that point.
Okay.
Leaving 2.
And you're describing because rubbing against the bald fade would.
My fingers probably would have fallen off.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
his hair was a little longer. It was
All
about
right.
a month's worth of growth, so it wasn't as rough.
And this isn't cheating. This is strategy that you're describing.
I'm all about
so
strategy. You
it's
gotta make
wisdom. Yeah.
It was fun this way, and so then I left 2 steam towels at the end. That's when I did the haircut.
Okay.
did the shampoo, finished it with the
A double, or
yes,
essentially.
a double. Yep, and then we finished with the neck, back, and shoulder.
For 55 times? Or 55 minutes, I guess? The neck and shoulder, or just had you been
We
doing
did
that when you were
in
coming?
the
Okay,
same
okay, I
group
got you. I
section,
understand.
So my
Okay.
fingers could dry.
Gotcha.
That hour. It was approximately an hour of neck, back, and shoulder each section.
And you being, and we'll get into your Army career, you being a veteran, having gone through basic training and some pretty grueling things in the military, how would you rank this and the pain threshold? Like, did that help you get through the 55 MVPs? Did you go to your happy place, or what was the physical toll?
I'm so busy all the time. I'm used to being on my feet for 12 hours, like every Saturday and Wednesday. My clients know to find me, open to close. So as most stylists realize, you don't usually break. So to me, it was 4.5 hours. It was an easy day. I kind of compared it to, I did a half marathon one day for the first time ever for a half marathon. And so I figured, it's just going to be like I do it twice. So I just kind of focused on that. And he's awesome. He was fun. We had conversation, and the whole team was like popping their head in and having a good time with it. So it was a fun day.
What kind of reactions did you see on social media?
Lots. We got a lot of reactions. People asking how my fingers were. A lot of that.
I would have loved to have seen the before and after of the hands.
They looked, they were so pruned up that my fingerprint wouldn't read on the computer for me to clock out. So, but we got a lot of reaction to it. Different clients, everyone's asking, what does this mean?
Yeah.
So we explain it, but that we were used to it because we did it with the West Virginia record prior.
Right,
so
right.
we were always answering that question. So it was just fun, and a lot of stores talking that they were going to beat it, and I mean, have at it. It's fun.
Yeah.
We actually, I don't even know if you know how many people. There's at least 3 or 4 stores who have called us out who have beat it. So they're just calling us out, and I think it's wonderful. And every single one has been a veteran.
Yeah.
So that just makes me so happy.
Yeah. What about, was Brandon a veteran as
He
well?
is,
Okay.
yeah. And our last West Virginia record was a veteran as well.
Hey, if anybody deserves to be spoiled
It's
with
our
the
veterans.
MVP, yeah.
That's
so
right.
so let's talk about, okay, you set the record, and that's why I wanted you on the podcast, because it kind of started the conversation of, wait, that's actually a cool thing. We should try to beat it. And then you would have usually on social media, that's how they're calling you out. They're not literally calling the store and saying, hey, by the way, you're going down. They're posting, they're kind of tagging you guys on social media. So you see the one in, what was it, Kansas City? They were the ones that kind of went above and beyond and did 70, if I remember right.
I believe so.
And that was actually with not just any veteran. That was with Lynn Rolfe, who is our guy from VFW, our director of events or marketing or whatever he does, his coordinator. He's whatever he is. He's a bigwig up there, and the veteran of all veterans. And he loves Sport Clips so much, and wanted to make sure he participated in something with his
kudos to him.
team.
I love their video too.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was
and
awesome.
he did. I mean, and he actually posted from the VFW social media account. It got thousands of views.
It's awesome.
So great exposure for Sport Clips, and obviously for VFW, but the wonderful partnership we have with Help a Hero. So they held the record for a while, and then was it right after Huddle, or was it right before Huddle when Hawaii chimed in? I think it was right before.
It might have been right
our national convention. Kirsten, who was at HI 102, she went triple digits on the MVP and went to 100, which I can't even believe. I can't believe that was possible. But literally, what she did is she came in on her day off, and I think it took like 6 hours or 7 hours or whatever it took. And then she set the record that as of, what is today? It's someday in April. No, it's May.
May
okay,
1st.
it's May when we're recording this. That is the official record right now of something that you started back in, when did you do it? January?
I think it was Yeah, it was January.
I know it was cold outside.
January, February, yep.
So the hot towel, I'm sure, felt really good. But yeah, so we're at 100. So if you're out there and you want to break the record and do what all of these stores are doing, make it a social media event from your store's page.
Yep.
I mean, that's the thing that I sometimes see is the stylists or team members will post from their personal, which is great. We appreciate that you love working at Sport Clips and that you'll do it from your personal stuff, but we really want to see it from the store pages so that when the attention is drawn to the event, yes, you're getting the credit, but it's also going back to the store, and that's where the hype is coming from. So that's why I came to Morgantown today, was to see, obviously, you and the store where the record started really being set, the bar started being set high. And while I was there, I mean, you guys, I felt like there were tons of trophies everywhere. Tell me some of the other awards or records that you guys have under your belt right now.
We have.
And this is not a time to be humble. We had this conversation right before we went on air about you being too humble. You know, I want you to brag a little bit on your store.
On the store,
all right.
Yeah, we have an amazing team, and we did get the grand opening. The best grand opening consisted actually of 4 awards.
Okay.
And you're testing my memory on which ones. I believe it was client count, sales, back bar, paid back bar. There's another one.
Take home per client, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And then the next year we got gold, chairman's.
So your second year.
Our first full year.
Yeah.
Yep,
true.
we got gold. Because someone told me that we couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone told me that we couldn't get the platinum, and we just got the platinum this past year.
Well, you know what? I don't think you can get $1 million store. I'm just telling you,
I was told that by
yeah.
many people, and that's why we are busting it, and we are going to make it.
Yeah, I saw your performance board, so I think you guys are well underway.
Oh yeah, we got it. I don't doubt my team. We have an amazing team and clientele. I mean, how else do you get 55 MVPs in one day, and to pay a $300
right
ticket? So
yeah. No, that's amazing. So when I was in your store, I saw a couple other things that you did really well. You have displayed in your location something that I think is kind of unique for MVP Stylist of the Month or something like that. Describe that. I mean, we're not videoing this from your store, so describe what that is to our listeners.
So the main purpose is to, I just really strongly believe in positive encouraging, and that is going to be key for your stylists so they feel appreciated. Nobody wants to be disciplined, so just reward the ones who are doing what is right well. So we have an MVP board for our clients to be able to see. There's like 18 of us, and they don't always remember our name. So we have a picture with our name on it, and then in the middle of this...
And you didn't stumble there. I want to make sure. You said you have 18 stylists, right, working for your store?
Yeah.
So there's some out that are listening to this are like they would kill for double-digit stylists, and you have 8. You're almost at twice what they would love to have. So 18, so you must be doing something right. All right, you have them, their pictures are...
Their picture with their name.
Okay.
Yep, and so people can identify them if they're looking for a certain stylist and request them. And then smack dab in the middle of it is, like, I just made it bold, and it says MVP of the month, and then directly underneath it, it says runner-ups. So we have really 3 people who their names are getting recognized, and not only that, but we put it on the online. So when people are checking...
So on Salon Ultimate. It's the nickname feature, right? Yeah,
that's right. And it'll say MVP of the month or runner-up MVP. So then people see that, and oftentimes they select them because of that, because they think it's cool.
And they probably tip better knowing that, hey, this is the MVP of the month, you know? I got to make sure they're well compensated.
Yeah, so I have something in the back that's called our Kind Box, and anytime someone goes over and beyond, they will nominate someone. So-and-so took my shift when my grandfather died, or something on that line, and so then they can write these nominations. And the first of the month, actually, I'll be doing it today, I have the key to it, so I'll read them all, and then I'll post them later for them all to see, so then they get this uplifting feeling, every month, but then I'll pick the top 3 things that stood out. Like one time there was a stylist who needed a place to stay, so she moved in with a different stylist for a week, just so until her apartment worked out. So things like that, going over and beyond. So, and then we also give them a box. I think it's called Fab Fit Fun box. So it has like $250 worth of beauty, fitness, and stuff. And so we will give them that, and we'll also post it online, so all of our clients can see who it is, what they got, their award. Runners-up get bragging rights. So, but it's just a neat
Can you win
thing.
back-to-back months, or once you win?
Have.
Then,
We
really?
have.
Okay.
Not so much now because there's so many, and there's so many nominations. Honestly, that's why we have 3, is because I couldn't pick just one.
Right.
And so it does get hard because we do have a really awesome team.
Mm-hmm. I love that. You also have on your chalkboard when people walk in something about reviews.
Absolutely, yeah. Reviews go far. Most of our clients come because they did a Google search, and we have some of the best ratings in our town. There's so many competing. We have 4 across the street alone, and reviews go really far. So we always want to make sure that we follow up with anyone who didn't have a great experience.
Are you guys responding to all your online reviews?
Absolutely.
And monitoring all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So for those out there listening, you do get reviewed on Facebook, on Google, Yelp, and even your store website collects reviews. And your team leader, or I don't know, is it you that's
Me.
responding? Okay, or your manager can respond to reviews. And the best stores pay the best attention to their reviews and tend to have the best reviews because of that. So
it's a lot of people find you that way.
So you're crushing records. You're creating records that other stores, that are motivating other stores, and yet your career, your path to Sport Clips was not the typical. I interview a lot of people, and a lot of them grew up cutting their Barbie's hair. In fact, Maria might be this way. Maria Jones, a coach, she's on another podcast, but you actually went a different path, and you had you raised some kids. You have what, two kids?
2 kids.
They're
teenage girl who's equivalent to 18
Okay, so prayer is appreciated for Lisa. She's got a teenage girl in the house. Okay, and
my boy is 11.
Okay, and your mama's boy, hopefully, if he's 11. My son is 11. Mama's boy. So you were raising your kids, and then you, I believe, a military career, sort of.
4 years.
Okay, no, that's a career. I mean, 4 years in the military. I'm an Air Force brat. You're a Navy brat.
Navy
is that
brat,
okay?
yeah.
But you chose you chose to go into what branch?
The Army. Yeah.
You went in the Army, and then where'd you serve? All that kind of stuff.
Oh gosh. Well, actually, small town, Pennsylvania, St. Mary's, and I lived in Pittsburgh at the time. So
what was your role in the Army? Or can you not talk? Well, you have to kill me if you tell me about it. Okay.
Well, everybody, has their job, which was petroleum pipeline supply, but what I really did, I was that person in the little office who weighed and measured you and told you if you had to lose weight.
Oh, Fat Boy program.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No wonder you've been judging me while I've been drinking all this Mountain Dew since I've been here. I see what's happening. She's like, Chad, we need to have a talk. Okay.
And then I did actually cut Barbie's hair. My sister hated me for it. So it had always been a desire. My mom was a hairstylist.
Oh, right, that's right.
And she kind of talked me out of it at one point. She didn't like it so much. So, but then I got married very young and had my kiddos and was able to stay at home with them for about 7 years. And then do you want me to keep going? Just my story?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. I mean, whatever you want to share.
I started working at our church here in Morgantown. We moved here about, 14 years ago. It's considered a mega church, and so there's thousands of people who go there. And I actually did more management. So I oversaw a lot of small groups, making sure that they were healthy. All the leaders were doing what they were supposed to do. I organized big events, did little things like
Were you already good at that, or did that help refine your management kind of chops?
It actually probably defined me.
Okay.
Because I normally would pass out with a microphone in front of me. I get very nervous. You said this isn't live at the moment, which is the only reason why I'm breathing. So.
Oh, by the way, I was just kidding.
Yeah,
This is going out. Hey,
well,
everybody.
shoot.
No.
Yeah.
See if this church lady can cuss.
Yeah. Won't catch it. But the Facebook live videos, I would never be able to have done that if it wasn't.
Which, by the way, I used in my first ever breakout session.
Yes, you did.
At a huddle was one of your live videos that I showed. So
I think it was when our new systems came in that I was showing people how to use
online check-in.
Online check-in, and the kiosk
or the
and
kiosk,
everything.
yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to go as big as it did.
Yep.
So, yep. So I did that for a while, and I just went through some difficult things, which made me redirect my life and direction.
I'm sure no listener out there has ever, had anything difficult happen that kind of altered their career. No, I mean, there's a lot of heads nodding on, that's a lot like what happened to me. So.
Yeah. So I pretty much had to start all over with my 2 kids and me, and went back to school for cosmetology, which is what I always kind of wanted to do. Loved it. I actually graduated from the beauty school just maybe, I remember they
Is
did
it here in Morgantown?
Yeah, they did a Sport Clips. Maria actually did it.
No way.
And I had a client.
You remember
in
her
my
in
chair.
class?
I do.
Maria's offline, but she's answering our questions still.
I do. I remember talking to you after.
Yeah. And
talking to her or talking her into twisting her arm to come to.
I remember her coming up and asking questions specifically about what we did and knowing what she wanted.
Yeah, I knew exactly what I wanted. I wanted to pamper people, and I didn't want...
No wonder you went for that MVP record. It's kind of the way you're wired.
Well, I was actually choosing between masseuse and hairstylist. When then they were talking about Sport Clips, as I had a client in my chair, and I was trying to listen in from a distance, they said a couple of key things. Health insurance, which is what I was looking for. And they were talking about how it's more the experience, it's not just a haircut. A friend actually tried to get me to open up a different hair place. Let's just say that their theme is more in and out. And I hated the idea of that. If I'm going to have someone sitting in my chair, I want to make a piece of artwork. I don't want to make a mess just to be in
That's
and
all
out.
I could do to convince you not to give me lightning bolts in my head today because I guess you're really good at the design aspect of stuff.
That is what I'm known for, is the lightning bolt lady in Morgantown. Yeah.
Okay.
So, so I heard them talking at a beauty school, and I already had a couple of different salons reaching out to me. I wasn't the average student. I was older, very dedicated. I was graduating quicker than I was supposed to because I stayed late. I did what I was supposed to do.
Motivated. Yeah, you had kiddos. You wanted.
Yeah. I remember my kids sat in the classroom with us one time because there was a snowstorm and I had no childcare, so I was not going to be missing school, and so they sat and learned about physics when I sat right there with them. So I started working. I chose to go to a booth rental, and
out of beauty school.
Fresh out of beauty school, because I had a clientele, and she was wonderful, and she was great for me to start for that first couple of months while we were waiting for Sport Clips to open.
Oh, I see.
Because Sport Clips hadn't yet opened yet.
And this is the only one in the town, so it's not like you could go work at another one while they were waiting to open theirs. Okay.
Yeah, well, and I really plan on doing both. So I started off as a stylist. That was May. By June, I was a key holder. July, I was an assistant. And by July 31st, I was the manager.
And so you're not doing both at that point?
No, I had to quit the other one. I'm still very good friends with them. They're awesome.
Well, was part of the worry, were you thinking, I'm going to have to do both just to make ends meet? Is that what you were thinking originally? And then realized, I can...
was still at the church. I was doing 3 jobs, single parenting. So I was doing all three at one point, and the owner had a different plan for me, and she didn't let on to her plan. I'm sure she's probably giggling right now when she hears this.
The owner of the salon, or of
Amanda Donovan.
okay, all right.
She kind of saw something apparently, and man didn't tell me, so I just kept moving up. And
she's a sneaky one.
She was
Amanda.
a sneaky one. Yeah.
She got what she wanted in the end.
She did. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah.
That's awesome. I have a couple questions over here I want to ask you, but quickly. You mentioned church and some other stuff. I don't know if you want to chime in a little bit about your faith and the role it plays in your life, but I want to give you that opportunity.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Honestly, I give 100% of the credit to God, because He brought me where I'm at, and different things that have happened to me, and I wouldn't have been able to do that without His strength. Definitely not by mine. So He's been amazing, and He's been through every step, and looking at where I was even 4 years ago and to where I am now. I have my dream car, and I just purchased a house, and I actually just celebrated my 1 year anniversary with my husband.
Give him a shout out in case he listens.
Hey Eric,
okay,
love you.
All right. So if he's listening, it sounds like that Rascal Flatts song, "God Bless the Broken Road." You know, it sounds like that's been a little bit of your story.
Yeah, so all credit goes to him, and he's provided me with the best team ever, and amazing team leaders, and Sport Clips. I just love what they stand for and who they help and how they do business. There's nothing I don't love about it.
Well, let's do this, because you actually have a client waiting for you right now. So, what's his name? Oh, I can't remember.
Oh gosh, I didn't.
I looked at the board before we left, but. So I'm going to go through these last 10 questions, and I will not ask follow-ups to these. These are just intended to be fun, and a way for you to transition out of the podcast and back to, ladies and gentlemen, she's going right back to cutting hair. That's how dedicated she is. So thank you, Lisa. Okay, question number 1. Which superpower would you most like to have?
Flying.
Okay, so Captain Marvel, that's who flies now, the woman. Number 2, what is your personal motto?
You can't grow if you're uncomfortable.
Okay.
Sorry, no, I said that wrong. See, I'm getting all
You're fine. Because I was
You
going to.
can't grow if you're comfortable.
I was going to reinterpret it.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, but
you got me.
We're good. Other than where you live now, where else in the world would you most like to live?
Anywhere with clear waters.
Clearwater, Florida.
I did get married there.
Yeah, that's great.
As long as it's warm.
Number 4, who is a celebrity you'd most like to meet one day?
Andy Stanley. He is.
He's one of my favorite.
He's a well-known pastor
Mm-hmm.
in North Point. Went to a bunch of conferences with him, and he.
Catalyst or what?
And he created a study that I still volunteer and lead.
Which one is it?
Starting Point.
Oh yeah, nice. He also developed Preaching Rocket, which you might not know about, but pastors do, and it's a way for pastors to more easily process and deliver sermons. So just trust me. I love him too.
Yeah.
Which words or phrases do you most overuse?
Needless to say.
Okay.
That's what someone says.
All right.
I say that all the time. Needless to say.
All right.
Apparently
I'll check the transcript of this, and we'll see how many times you said it. What sound or noise do you love?
A fart. Who doesn't like a good laugh?
Wow. Okay. I've
right?
never heard that
You
answer.
You have to have fun in life.
I guess it is what's sound or noise. It's not what smells, so I guess we're good there. What sound or noise do you hate?
Same thing.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, what it means.
Let's see. Sound or noise. Honestly, negativity. Oh.
Okay, so anybody's like,
it's
OMG.
draining. Yeah, it's draining. Yeah.
What profession? Well, this is gonna be a toughie. Other than your own, would you have been good at, or at least have wanted to try that you didn't? We're talking to an Army veteran and a church manager.
I probably something in the art world. I did go to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh. But I wanted hands-on computer graphic design. I wasn't feeling it. That's why I kind of dropped out.
Okay, so an artist.
An artist, yeah. You could
What
say
you
that.
got? I mean, you're the lightning bolt lady of Morgantown, West Virginia.
Yeah.
What do you consider your greatest achievement?
forgiveness.
Oh, hey, that's a good one. Boy, I wish that was my greatest achievement. I guess I should get to work on that. If heaven indeed exists, last question. What do you hope to hear when you walk through the pearly gates?
Let's party.
Let's party? Okay.
Yeah, because I'm hoping to have a big old party.
Yeah,
up there
with a lot of people.
I know.
That hopefully you got to bring along with you or have an influence in
That's
getting them
right.
there. Well, I loved everything about this, especially the fact that we're in Ashley Home Furniture in Morgantown, West Virginia. Got to see your store, which I've been dying to see. See the MVP record, that sign that you have for Brandon D. So shout out to Brandon and all the stuff that you got going on in your store, your amazing career, just everything about you and your positivity. So that's actually a breath of fresh air. So
Well, thank you.
appreciate you and all you're up to. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to you guys being $1 million store
Oh,
this year.
we got it. We got it, and we appreciate you coming
Thanks
and
so much.
visiting us.
Thank you, Lisa. Thanks everybody for listening. Stay tuned. We'll have another good episode next week. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Good job.
Yes, awesome job.
I completely
Okay.